everybody, and I'm here back again to read you the famous 5 chapter number 2, the strange cousin here. So yeah, let's start it. The 5 on a treasure island, that one, the number 1 here. So let's start it. The strange cousin, chapter number 2. The children's aunt had been watching for the car. She came running out of the old wooden door as soon as she saw it draw up outside. The children liked the look of her at once. "Welcome to Kirin," she cried. "Hello, all of you. It's lovely to see you." There were hugs all around, and the children went in the house. They liked it. It felt old and a bit mysterious. And the furniture was old. And very beautiful. Where's Georgina?" asked Annie, looking around for her unknown cousin. "Oh, that naughty girl. I told her to wait in the garden for you," said her aunt. "Now she's gone off somewhere. I must tell you, children, you may find Georgie a bit difficult at first. She's always been on her own. You know, at first may not like you being here, but you mustn't take any notice of that. She'll be all right in a short time. It was very glad for Georgie's sake that you were able to come. She badly needs their other children to play with." "Do you call her Georgie?" asked Annie in surprise. "I thought her name was Georgina." "So it is," said her aunt. "But Georgie hates being a girl, and we have to call her Georgie, as if she were a boy. The naughty girl won't answer if you call her Georgina." The children thought that Georgina sounded interesting. They wished she would come, but she never did. Their Uncle Quentin suddenly appeared instead. He was a most extraordinary looking man, very tall, very dark, and with a rather fierce frown on his white forehead. "Hello, Quentin," said Dad. "It's ages since I've seen you. I hope these 3 won't disturb you very much in your work." "Quentin is working on a very difficult book," said Aunt Fanny, "but he has a room all to himself on the other side of the house, so I don't expect he will be disturbed." Their uncle looked at the 3 children. "Where's Georgie?" and nodded at them. The frown did not come off his face, and they all felt a little scared. They were glad that he worked in another part of the house. "Where's Georgie?" he asked in a deep voice. "Gone off somewhere again," said his Aunt Fanny, sounding annoyed. "I told her to stay here and meet her cousins. She wants a good talking to," said Quentin. The children couldn't quite make out whether he was joking or not. "Well, children, I hope you have a good time here, and maybe you'll knock a little common sense into Georgie." There was no room at Kirin Cottage for Mom and Dad to stay the night, so after a hurried supper, they left to stay at a hotel in the nearest town. They planned to drive back to London immediately after breakfast the next day, so they said goodbye to the children that night. Georgina still hadn't appeared. "I'm sorry we haven't seen Georgina," said Mom. We just give her the hope that she will be playing with Dick, Julian and Annie." Then Mom and Dad went. The children felt a bit lonely as they watched the family car disappear around the corner of the road. But Aunt Fanny took them upstairs to show them their bedrooms. They soon forgot to be sad. The 2 boys were to sleep together in a room with slanting ceilings at the top of the house. It had a marvelous view of the bay. The boys were really delighted with it. Annie was to sleep with Georgina in a smaller room, whose windows looked over the moors at the back of the house. But one side window looked over the sea, which pleased Annie very much. It was a nice room, and red roses nodded their heads at the window. "I do wish Georgina would come," said Annie to her aunt. I want to see what she's like. Well, she's a funny girl, said her aunt. She can be very rude and haughty, but she's kind at heart, very loyal and absolutely truthful. Once she makes friends with you, she'll always be your friend. But she finds it very difficult indeed to make friends, which is a shame. Annie suddenly yawned. The boys frowned at her because they knew what would happen next, and it did. Poor Annie, how tired you are. You must all go to bed straight away and have a good night's sleep. Then you all will wake up quite fresh tomorrow, said Aunt Fanny. Annie, you're an idiot, said Dick crossly when his aunt had gone out of the room. You know what grown-ups think as soon as we yawn. I wanted to go down to the beach for a while. I'm sorry, said Annie. Somehow I couldn't help it. And anyway, you're warning now, Dick and Julian too. So they were. They were really sleepy after the long drive. Secretly, all of them longed to conclude down into the bed and shut their eyes. I wonder where Georgina is, said Annie, as she said good night to the boys and went to her own room. It isn't she odd? Not wanting to welcome us and not coming in for supper and not yet. After all, she's sleeping in my room. Goodness knows what time she'll be in. All three children were fast asleep before Georgina came up to bed. They didn't hear her open Annie's door. They didn't hear her get undressed and clean her teeth. They didn't hear her creak her bed as she got into it. They were so tired that they heard nothing at all until the sun woke them in the morning. Annie woke up. She couldn't think where she was at first. She lay in her little bed and looked up at the slanting ceiling and at the